all eyes are on the candidates blitzing across New York State, trying to get the edge ahead of the big primary tomorrow. Donald Trump has already called some weekend results in Wyoming pointless and an indication that the system is rigged. Ted Cruz got all 14 Wyoming delegates, as he got all 34 delegates from the state of Colorado. So already he's looking at a 48 delegate net gain on Donald Trump ahead of New York. So it's anyone's guess how that will go. But to Trump's point that the system is rigged or he's behind on the count, Gina Loudon, Sabrina Shaeffer, Mark Serrano. Mark, I would begin with you. That is Donald Trump's argument, that it's not the will of the people and they're getting shortchanged. What do you think?
Well, the system is built by the party for party loyalists. So Trump absolutely has a point. I mean, yeah, the system is rigged because the party set up the system. But look, Neil, I think what Trump is doing is his rhetoric is largely looking ahead and not looking back. You know, he's got a string of primaries coming up where he can perform extremely well and potentially regain the momentum here to possibly get to the 1,237 delegates by June 7th. I think he has a good chance of doing that. You know, there's a new poll out that says 52% of Republican primary voters think the system is unfair. And they also think that Trump is authentic and effective and think he cares about their needs. So he is really talking to the people in his movement who can make a difference in these upcoming primaries. You know, say what you will about the system is well known, and it's been well telegraphed. If you look at this, Sabrina, the fact of the matter is that Ted Cruz picks up, 48 delegates going into tomorrow's crucial New York primary. Now, let's say Donald Trump were to win all 95 of those delegates, and that would be a Herculean task. It does somewhat take the oomph out of his thunder, does it not?
A little bit. I mean, look, I think that he's sort of threading a difficult needle here. On one hand, this idea that he's been wronged, feeds right into this narrative that he's aggrieved and that many Americans are being overlooked by the elites here in Washington and in New York. And I think that that's sort of a safe place for Trump. But at the same time, he's going to have to sort of move beyond this victim status and beyond, all of these things are wrong and bad and we've, been passed over, and start talking about what he's going to offer in the future. Because I think all of these people who have, really genuine concerns about our education system and our healthcare system and our economy and finding jobs, they want to know, okay, now that we're all sort of on the same side that we're victims here and things haven't gone the way we want, what are you going to do to change them?
No, I think you raise a good point. But Gina, I think he is making lemonade out of potential lemons. That is Donald Trump, and reminding people whether this was properly telegraphed or not, whether he was caught off guard or not, that the underlying system stinks if it disallows people to vote, and the delegate apportionment is something else. I think all the guests are right, talking about the fact the rules were known, this was known, Donald Trump was caught unawares. But Donald Trump is trying to make a bigger point that the process itself is flawed, much as Democrats argue about the disproportionate role that superdelegates play. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think that you're absolutely right about that, Neil. I think that inadvertently, Ted Cruz handed Donald Trump something perhaps more important, and that is a great big outsider trophy. I think that this proves, because now Ted Cruz has put himself in a place where he is working with the establishment, and people who have fought the establishment for all these years are thinking, wait a minute, you're either the person working with him or you're the person working against him. And we all know this, Donald Trump is the master brander. We will never say Marco again without thinking little first. He's done this so masterfully. And now he has successfully taken what has become a Pyrrhic victory for Ted Cruz and branded Ted Cruz. He is the establishment, and I don't know how Ted Cruz gets out of that. Now he's working with them, and he's all about the rules.
Well, there's a codependent relationship there, Neil, between Ted Cruz and the establishment elite. It's codependent, and let me tell you, that relationship turns very toxic, I think, if we hit the second ballot. Exactly. And they'll drop Ted Cruz like a hot coal.
Like a hot potato. And the rules he's talking about right now will be the very rules they will be using to destroy Ted Cruz about the second or third ballot. You're exactly right.
Such are rules. All right, hot coal, hot potato. You drop it anyway because it's hot. Guys, thank you very, very much.